Hello, Greg Harradine here, and welcome to another episode of Good Art, Bad Art, where I discuss all different types of music and I share my opinion on whether I consider it good or bad. And most importantly, I love to hear from you. So let me know what you think in the comments. Tell me if I've got it right or am I totally misinformed and deluded. Let me know. The track today we'll be discussing is Alberto Balsalm by Aphex Twin. And it's just me today. Last episode, I had my first ever guest, which was fun. Andy Currams. We spoke about Talking Heads. If you'd like to be a guest, either in person, if you happen to live nearby, or online, let me know. And also just suggest other things for me to cover. I'd love to hear from you. So Alberto Balsalm. This was suggested by Perry Warnock. Actually, Perry suggested some other Aphex Twin songs, but then he mentioned in a comment that Alberto Balsalm was his favourite ever song. That is a huge claim, isn't it? And I struggled to come up with what is my favourite ever song. Do I even have one? I don't know. Do you have a favourite song? Really hard to choose, but Perry said, the texture of the song is phenomenal. I get chills the entire runtime. And many other people find this song particularly affecting. Just looking online, it seems to be a real favourite out of Aphex Twin's songs, and it touches people. Comments online. Here's a comment from Reddit that I came across. Alberto Balsalm feels like a multi-purpose song meant to reflect how you feel. If you had a good day, it feels relaxed. If you had a bad day, it feels empathetic. And I think that comment really highlights something important about this track. It exists somewhere in between the positive and the negative, kind of in between a feeling of anxiety and a feeling of hope. And that's part of its special quality. So let's get into it. So this is from the album I Care Because You Do, 1995. And I mean, what a name, what a title, Alberto Balsalm. Right? If you know this song, you probably will know that the title is named after a type of shampoo, a brand of shampoo, Alberto Balsalm. But Richard James just added this extra L in the second word, presumably to avoid any direct association or copyright issues. I don't know. Named after shampoo. One of these quirky song titles that he's fond of. And what do we hear in this track? Well, many people think they hear the sound of scissors, right? There's various kind of percussion type samples, okay? Do we hear the sound of scissors? Scissors cutting hair? Yes, kind of goes with the shampoo, doesn't it? The shampoo idea. Is that scissors or is that sound we hear a lighter being flicked on? People disagree on that. What do you think? People have said another sound is the sound of a chair being slid in and out, right? That we hear. No, apparently we do know that is not a chair being slid in and out. That is the sound of a rusty metal ammo box lid being closed and opened. I think we know that. I think Richard James commented online somewhere to that effect. Other interesting sounds. Do we hear a radiator being hit with spoons? Something like that. Anyway, let me know what you think. But there's lots of great sampled percussive type sounds here. And we have a simple bass line initially. It's a B flat going up to E flat. And then we drop a semitone, D up to G. So rising fourths, yeah? B flat up to E flat, and then D up to G. So there's a sense of, I think this adds to the sense of hope, this rising sound of a fourth going up, but then this drop of a semitone, that adds a bit of anxiety there, not quite so good, right? Repetitive bass line, that's the A section, has that bass line, and then all these beautiful little synth lines coming in over the top, and the timbre of the synths keeps shifting, right? There's various sounds in there, and they're filtered nicely, so it just has a human warmth to it, right? This track balances the kind of sense of the non-human, the industrial almost, the machine, with a very human warmth of the lovely melodies that are coming through. It sort of feels like we're in G minor, Or we could, of course, be in B flat major. It feels a bit more G minor-y, but there's lots of major hints coming through. That's the A section, with that bass line I described. Then we get this B section, a bit more complex harmonic moves. The rhythm changes. The predominant kind of chords we hear, the predominant harmonies are kind of C minor, a bit of E flat. A lovely section, really lovely section. And the structure, kind of straightforward really, of the A section, B section, A section, B section. Then a kind of percussive breakdown, and then the A section returns. Note this, that the fact there are 3 iterations of the A section, 2 iterations of the B section. Curiously enough, there are 3 A's in the song title in Alberto Balsalm, and there are 2 B's in Alberto Balsalm. Coincidence? I wonder. Could be, or maybe not. Another comment I saw online about this track said, sounds like the end credits of human life. Yeah, that does resonate. It does resonate with me. What do I think? I haven't really said what I think. I think it's a really great track, actually. I'm not a huge... I don't listen to much Aphex Twin, or I haven't, just on and off. On and off I've listened to some of his stuff, but I should listen more. I feel bad that I haven't. It's a big lacuna in my musical education, I feel. So thank you, Perry, for bringing me back to Aphex Twin. It's very hypnotic. The more I've listened to it, and I have listened to it quite a lot in the last week or so, the more I get into it. Yeah, because even though harmonically it's not that complex, it's not pushing harmonic boundaries, should we say, it's created in a very nice, subtle way. Things keep shifting. Things aren't just repeated the same all the time. There's a lot of nuance there, a lot of deep human warmth, but also that feeling of, look, life's not perfect. Yeah, it's not something I hate in music is just naive positivity, right? That usually rubs me the wrong way, right? I don't mind hope in music, but you gotta balance it out with reality here, and that's what he's done. It touches so many people, and I would give it a score of 85. Yeah, 85 out of 100. Fantastic. People listen to this again and again. Comments I've seen, people listen to this hundreds or thousands of times. They get addicted to it, and I can see why. Wonderful. What should I listen to next? What should I talk about next? Please let me know. Subscribe if you're enjoying this. Leave a comment. I really love to hear from you. It's one of the reasons I create these videos, is to have human interaction. And I'll see you next time.